Okay, gang, what we got here today is the FC3 Plus. Now, I may be late, but I should have had a video before this that showed that I had this. So, if you haven't seen that, you can go back and watch that one. If not, let's get right to it. So, I got this online. It was a slept-on deal. These things usually go for more than what I got it for. It was about 20 bucks, and I couldn't say no to it. I grew up a Genesis kid, didn't have a Super Nintendo. I had a Nintendo before the Genesis, but that was a time where most people could really, middle class people, low middle classes, which I might have been, could only choose one system. Unless you really had it like that, you were either one or the other. And I got a Genesis, and it wasn't until years later where I discovered Super Mario World, where I was like, hey, I really wish I would have gotten this system instead. There were so many games that I maybe wasn't mature enough. I don't mean violent or, anything like that. I mean, like, my reasoning and understanding of RPGs and stuff like that weren't there yet. But had I had that, I would have appreciated that a lot more. That's not to say there weren't good games on the Genesis. It's just that games I would have gravitated to more would have been on the Super Nintendo. That being said, never had a Super Nintendo. I've got one now that's not really... It's seen better days, I'll just put it like that, and I'm not sure I can get it working. But I also have the FC Twin, which the Nintendo part of it is not working, but the Super Nintendo part is. Now, I adjusted that to allow me to play Super Famicom games, but to play all three, and it's only $20, I couldn't say no to that. So that being said, thank you to the person who sold me this as cheap as it was and didn't try to relist the item. So here you see it's fairly simple. It's got its own controller and its own light gun, and it's got the composite AV cables there. So let's open this baby up. I've been rambling for the last couple of minutes, and it's kind of hard to talk and unbox these things. I suppose I could put the phone down, but then you guys would be wondering what's going on. So let's just look at the box for a second. AV, an NES/G Factor, whatever that is. Like I said, its own controllers. Yeah, so pretty basic, pretty simple. So, sorry you had to see it like that, but essentially I opened the box, and here it is. Now I'm not going to power this thing on, although I need to do that to see that it works, but I'm pressed for time, and I just wanted to show you guys this. If you haven't seen it or heard of it, it's almost like the Retron 3, so if you can't afford that or whatever, this is close to it. What I don't like is this uses the Sega style and not the Super Nintendo, but that's fine. Maybe you can hook an Atari controller up or something, but what it kind of indicates to me is, hey, you lose this, you're going to have to find a 6-button controller if you want to play this. So this uses a little, I can't read the, looks like 120 volts. So I apologize for the lighting on this. 120 volts, and of course it's got the cable. She did say that she didn't have the gun, and that was fine. So what I've got here is a Super Donkey Kong, which is basically Donkey Kong Country. And I'm not sure which is which, so we're just going to fiddle around with this. I'm going to assume that this is Genesis, and yes, this is a flash cartridge, Mega Drive and all. A little SD slot there. Don't know if you can see that. Basically, the whole Genesis library. I'm not really a Genesis collector anyway, so getting something like this was a no-brainer for me. So I keep moving this to the side because I'm trying not to be too aggressive. That looks like it's in there. Also, what I wanted to show the last video, signed copy of Top Gun from the Game Chasers. Here you got on the left Shady J, Billy, and 8-Bit Eric, who is frequently with them in their encounters as well. So I'm going to assume this is the Nintendo side. Nope, this is the Nintendo side. And let's see if this works. It may not work, because it may have those tabs in there. I don't know if you can really see. But yeah, the plastic tabs are there, so no dice on the Famicom. It's not going to stick. I'll just have to get a actual Super Nintendo game I've got laying around. But yeah, all three of those are there. And this bad boy, assuming it plays like it's supposed to, should be good. So if you've got one of these, let me know in the comments. Let me know what you think of it as far as the graphics and everything. Is it true to each of the consoles of yesteryear, how they were, or is it better? Do you prefer the Retron 3? Just let me know. And I, as always, want to thank you guys for watching. All those likes, comments, they all help. So with that said, I will see you next time.